Chapter 5, The Shadow of the Lion. Narrated by Samson, son of Manoah. In those days when the sun stood high and the air shimmered over the valleys of Dan, I, Samson, was a man yet unbroken, yet bound by the vow laid upon me before the breath of life first filled my lungs. My mother had heard the angel's voice. My father had questioned with trembling hands, and I was marked, a Nazirite unto the God of Israel from my mother's womb. No razor upon my head, no wine to my lips, no unclean thing to stain my hands. Such was the covenant. And yet I tell you, my heart was not always still before the Lord. It was in the season when the vines bent heavy with grapes that I went down toward Timnath. The path wound between the olive groves, where the shadows of their ancient trunks lay like coiled serpents upon the ground. I did not go there for battle, nor for judgment upon the enemies of my people, but for something my parents could not understand. For there I had seen a woman, a daughter of the Philistines, whose eyes had caught mine like the snare catches the bird. My father spoke to me of the daughters of our own tribe, my mother of the warnings of the law, but my heart was already set. And when a man's heart is set, it will find 1,000 voices to drown the one voice that would turn it back. As I walked, the hills echoed with the sound of cicadas, and the hot wind carried with it the scent of dust and myrrh. My sandals stirred the earth with each step, and my mind was on her laughter, on the proud lift of her chin. But the Most High had another meeting set for me on that road. Without warning from the thickets ahead, there came a sound, low at first, like the growl of a troubled spirit, then rising deeper until it became a roar that made the very marrow in my bones tremble. Out of the shadow leaped a young lion, his mane not yet fully crowned, but his power fierce enough to break a man's neck with a single stroke. His eyes burned gold in the sunlight. His breath came in hot clouds. His paws struck the earth like thunder. There was no time for thought, no time for flight. But the Spirit of the Lord rushed upon me. Ah, you who hear these words, you do not know what it is until it has seized you. My arms felt as if molten fire ran through them, my chest as though the breath of God himself had filled it. I met the lion as one meets a brother in battle, and with my bare hands, I tore it as one tears a young goat. The beast shuddered once, its strength fading like water spilled upon the sand, and then it lay still. I left its carcass there in the dust, for I had business yet in Timnath. But in my heart I knew this was no chance meeting. This was the hand of the Lord, showing me what I was, what I could be, and perhaps warning me what I might yet become. Days passed. I went again toward Timnath, this time with the sun low behind me, throwing my shadow long upon the road. I came again to the place where the lion had fallen. His bones were bleached now in the heat, but there was something more. From the rib cage of the beast, there came a soft humming, the sound of bees at their labor. I bent low and saw within the hollow of the carcass a honeycomb, golden and thick, dripping with sweetness. I reached in, my fingers sticky with the gift, and ate as I walked. Ah, sweet and strange, food from the carcass of the foal. I brought some also to my father and mother, but I told them not from where it came. Some secrets are not for every ear. And here is where the story turns. For at the feast in Timnath, as wine flowed, though not to my lips, I set before the Philistines a riddle, born from what I had seen. Out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. They laughed, they guessed, they failed, and I watched their pride twist like a cord. But their laughter turned to anger, their guessing to scheming, and they sought the answer, not by wit, but by treachery. They pressed the woman I was to marry, threatened her with fire, and she came to me with tears in her eyes, pressing me, pleading until I yielded. And so the riddle was broken, not by strength, nor by wisdom, but by the weakness of my own heart. When they gave me the answer, I saw the truth plain. Not all lions roar in the open. Some whisper in the ear of the one you trust. The Spirit of the Lord came upon me again, fierce as a desert wind. And I went down to Ashkelon, struck down 30 men, and took their garments to pay the wager. Yet my heart was heavy, for I saw how quickly joy could turn to blood, and how the sweetness of honey could be swallowed by the bitterness of betrayal. But listen, this was only the beginning. The Philistines thought they knew me. The woman thought she could bind me, and I thought I understood my own strength. None of us knew the road the Lord was setting beneath our feet. There would be foxes with firebrands yet, and gates carried upon my shoulders, and the laughter of my enemies when my eyes would see no more. And if you would know how a man who slew lions with his hands could be brought low by the soft words of another, you must follow me into the days yet to come. For in the telling lies the warning, and in the warning lies the truth.